Thank you to Mike DeArgon for your generous support on Patreon.
Inside or outside? On a day like this, outside for sure. Good afternoon, fellas. Hey, Hal. How you doing, Spencer? You seem to be all right. Adam told me about your injury. I'm really sorry to hear how the tournament ended up for you. I'm doing a lot better than I was. My ankle still gets sore, but give it another week or two and I'll be back to full strength. I really appreciate you giving Adam the extra time off to help me. I don't think I would have recovered as quickly as I have without him. I'm glad to hear it. It really seems like it helped out. It has. Good, because the sooner you're back to becoming a pro, the sooner I can brag about how you would come here to eat. I'll do my best. And thank you for the food you sent home with him last weekend. It was delicious as always. You're welcome. Now you two here to have lunch today? We are. Perfect. Have a seat and I'll be back in a few to take your order. What are you getting today? I'm definitely getting an order of the bacon chicken bites. Of course you are. You and Spencer were quick to pick out your food, and you placed your orders as soon as Hal returned. You turned your attention to Spencer, and his head was cocked to the side as he was looking past you. What are you looking at? I'm pretty sure... It's okay. I'm pretty sure Coach Grifter is heading this way. I see him down the strip. Okay, that doesn't explain the confused look on your face. Well, he's holding hands with someone. Is it Richard? It's Richard, isn't it? You started to turn and look, but Spencer stopped you. Just wait a minute. You'll see. Whoever he's with just pointed toward the cafe, so they might be coming here for lunch, too. You drummed your fingers on the table while Spencer kept his head turned away, and you were torn with the urge to turn your head and look. And there's eye contact. He knows we're here now. He pulled his hand free and is acting like he's using it to scratch his chest now. Spencer smiled, turned his head, and made a casual wave, so that was your cue to satisfy your curiosity. What? Oh, it's not Richard. What happened? I thought it would be the fucking Richard. What happened? Oh no. Hello, Spencer, Adam. Hey, Coach. What's up, Coach? I was just out with my friend here. These two are on the tennis team and in one of my classes. I don't remember the voice I gave Gur, and I feel bad because they work on this game. Captain Gerber, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. I see.
Just get really close to the mic and do that.
Harold talks highly about the team, so it's a pleasure to meet the both of you.
Oh God, there's more.
I'll have to come out and see how well he's trained you guys one of these days.
God damn it, there's more.
I suppose he's done a good job since you were... Oh shit. What's up, Bree? I'm considering something. Oh no. No. This is bad.
Coach. God damn it. Get away from me.
I suppose he's done a good job, since you just went to a big tournament, right, Spencer? You told me all about that.
That's right. It didn't go as well as I wanted, but I don't think I would have gone as far as I did without him. He's a pretty great coach. Don't you agree, Adam? Yeah, he's awesome. He really knows his stuff on the courts.
Yeah, he really knows how to handle a racket, doesn't he?
You noticed your coach jam his elbow into the other grinning bear's stomach. Anyway, don't let us interrupt your lunch. As you can see, we don't have any food yet, so you're not interrupting anything.
How about I go inside and grab us a table?
You sure?
You want water to drink?
Yes, please. Gur clapped his hand against Harold's back.
It was a pleasure, you two. We'll have to chat again the next time we run into each other. You can tell me more about how amazing Harold is on the courts if he hasn't let me come out to watch him by then.
Oh, for God's sake.
Picture me this. We have a daughter.
Uh-oh.
We name her Ella.
Oh, no.
We push her into
Coachella?
the athletic field.
Coachella?
She's not Coachella.
Picture this. Coachella has a daughter, Ella Jr. She is now Newella. Nutella. And I fucked it up.
Spencer?
Yes.
About what you saw, I was just trying to, my hand.
Coach Grifter was fidgeting a lot and wringing his hands together as he struggled to get his words out. Couldn't even look at Spencer.
It was an accident, and I didn't.
What are you going on about, Coach? I didn't see anything.
It didn't see anything weird.
No. The bear sighed deeply and relaxed a little. I see. Besides, why would anyone think that boyfriends holding hands is weird? You let him deflate and then you did see it there. So he is your boyfriend? This dog.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm not having this conversation with the two of you. You're my students.
It's not like we're in class at the moment. For now, you're just Harold to us. Oh, Dots?
Fine then. But still, please don't mention this to anyone. I don't want everyone knowing anything about this just yet.
Why are you walking around holding hands in public?
He just grabbed my hand and I didn't tell him no. It felt nice.
Don't worry, it's nobody's business. We're going to just run around and tell everyone. What you do in your personal life is your business.
Thank you.
I hope that Gurr has been helping Harold through the not at all circumstantially tied visit from Diana, I believe. She didn't show up because we were on his route, so that means that she still shows up regardless of us being there, which is very worrisome.
You should probably go join him now. It's rude to leave your date waiting like this. You're right. I'll see you guys on the courts tomorrow. And don't forget, it's Coach Grifter on the courts.
Of course. See you at practice tomorrow, Coach. He shook his head and ran his hand down over his face as he walked away. Well, that's not something I expected to see today.
You and me both.
You glanced through the window and saw Gurr wave to Harold as he walked into the building. He was smiling broadly as he reached across the table to pat Harold's hand as he sat down. His hand never withdrew either. They look cute together, though.
I agree.
Imagine how Darius would act if he saw that.
This is why he will never know unless Coach makes it public. Poor man wouldn't hear the end of it.
No doubt. Spencer grabbed your hands with both of his and held them up to his snoot and gave the top of your hand a kiss.
I hope he can find the same comfort and happiness that I've found being with you. Though I doubt anyone will ever be as happy as I am.
Except maybe me.
Nuh-uh, not even you.
He nuzzled against your hands, and you turned them over to let his snoot rest against your palms while you rubbed and scratched him. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere once that petting dogs makes people significantly happier. I bet you've never seen the study about how much dogs like me get out of Christ. I bet you've never seen the study about how much dogs like me get out of having their favorite person pet them either. You can't say that I have, so you'll just have to take my word for it then. All I need to know is that the increased petting leads to both parties being happier, but dogs experience a much greater high from it. Uh-huh, I see. And who published this study? It was put out by the Calden family. Calden! Fucking... You smarmy sack of shit. It was put out by the Calden Family Home Research Center. A study done on at least 4 other individuals showed significant increases in happiness when receiving pets. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it then. Good. He rubbed against your hands more and jumped as the plate of food was put on the table. Sorry to interrupt you two lovebirds, but here's your appetizer. Thank you, pal. Yeah, thanks. Your food should be out in about 5 minutes, so I'll be back again soon. Shall we? You jabbed one of the snacks with your fork and offered it to Spencer. He took it without hesitation, and the embarrassed look, melted back into one of happiness. Yeah, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. You two munched on the appetizer and had the plate cleaned by the time Hal returned with the main course. Neither of you wasted any time digging into the food. Oh, this sure hits the spot. Didn't realize how hungry I'd gotten until that appetizer came out. My stomach was growling the whole time. I guess I just had more important things on my mind. You're probably thinking about the thong I'm wearing, or what I'm gonna do to you tonight. No, actually, neither of those things were on my mind, but now they are. Then what were you thinking about? Well, it was about how much I love you, and just how happy I was to be out here with you. I was just plain old happy, that's all I was focused on. But now, I'm just gonna focus on the food and remind myself of all the reasons why I love you and why we're together. Like my butt, and how it looks in this thong. No! Or how it perfectly fucking... Shut up, Adam! Perfectly nestles your junk between your thighs. Adam! Jesus fucking Christ! Adam, shut up! His coach, like right behind him, about to say bye, and then he's fucking saying all this shit. Nose your face against it, Spencer's... Ow! Spencer's eyes narrowed even more, and he shoved his food in his mouth, looking away from you while he ate. You grinned and rubbed your feet against his, and his eyes shifted back over to you without him turning his head. I have a boner now, just so you're aware. I figured it might happen with all those different ideas rushing through all at once. I wonder if I can notice it. Under the table, you pretended that you were gonna lean over to take a look, and Spencer kicked your chair and adjusted how he was sitting. Don't you dare! I don't need other people looking under the table to try to figure out what you're doing. I'm sure it's subtle enough to where nobody would notice anyway, but still. But, you know, if you don't think about it, I'm sure you wouldn't get hard. Easier said than done. I try to think about something else, literally anything else, but then the other thoughts are just too strong. And one thought leads to another part of me just... Now there's a part of me that just wants to take you in the back alley and rail you right there. Oh. Yeah, it's always downhill. It's always a downhill spiral from there. Just undo my pants, pull yours down enough to expose your ass, and bite on your... Wow! Bite your neck as I go in raw. You only get to spit for lube. And whatever. I am oozed. Oh, man. You shifted around. You should dick a heart at the thought. You're hard now. You're hard now, aren't you? Maybe. Good. You deserve it. I don't think I'd ever be able to do something like that to you, but I had to teach you back. Well, now we're both hard, sitting here in public at the cafe that I work in. You're lucky we have nowhere else to be right now. He only grinned as he went back to eating his lunch, and you did the same, pushing the thoughts he planted as far away as you could. The lewd scenes that played through your mind were put on hold while Spencer's phone rang. Who was it this time? Looks like it's Darius again. Let me see what he wants now. What's up, Darius? We're out at lunch right now. Wait until tonight. Yeah. Maybe. Don't push it, Darius. Okay, yeah. See you then. Spencer pocketed his phone and shook his head. What was it about this time? The last bit was about him wanting me to take it all off at the club tonight. He's really desperate to see you naked. He is. I don't think he'll ever be satisfied, even if he does end up with a boyfriend. Do you think that'll ever happen? Who knows with him? I sure don't. Maybe Bandit will tie him down. I don't get how he puts up with Darius. Darius does have a certain charm to him. Yeah, he does. I guess Bandit just knows how to deal with him in a way that I don't. Seems to be just as much into the teasing game as Darius is. And shows no sign of jealousy in regards to how Darius behaves. Probably a big factor in them working out. I know if you acted like Darius, it would drive me insane with jealousy. I bet. I love you so much, though, that I could maybe get past it eventually, but I don't know. Well, it's not something you have to worry about. You won't catch me acting like Darius. You sure about that? You've been rather horny today. I mean in a sense of flirting with everyone. You're the only guy I need to flirt with. Good. It's not like you've been any less horny than I have either. Never said I wasn't. Spencer shoved the last of his food in his maw and leaned back in his chair with his paws resting behind his head. That was a good meal. What do you want to do before we head to the club? We still have a few hours still. I don't know. Could spend the whole time just teasing you. Hours of foreplay. No, thank you. I don't want any wet spots in my underwear. It's an annoying feeling to me. We can walk around at the park and talk until we decide on something. That works too. We can walk off the lunch we just ate. I don't want you walking around too much since you'll be on your feet at work tonight. Fair enough. I'll go pay and then we can go. You watched him through the window as he paid, and he spent a moment talking with Hal before turning to walk away. He waved to Coach Grifter and Gurr on his way out, and both of them returned the gesture. Okay, we're all set. Hal wanted me to tell you to be here for opening on Saturday, too. You're back on the schedule for mornings on the weekend. I'm glad he told you, because I forgot to ask. I'm going to put a reminder on my phone for it, so I go to bed at a decent time on Friday. You do that, and we'll head to the park. Okay. We've been to the park a lot lately. It's not a bad thing, is it? Not at all. It's a nice park. Honestly, wouldn't mind a daily walk through here. I'd really enjoy that, too. Walking from home and doing a couple of laps can be done in under an hour, so it wouldn't be hard to do every day. As long as it's a day when you have the time for it, we'll do it. Put his arm around your waist and pulled you close. The weather was warm, and a light breeze rustled through your hair while you walked along the path through the park. Spencer's eyes were mostly closed, and his face was tilted towards the sun. You couldn't keep the smile off your face at seeing how happy he looked. What are you smiling at? You're so damned adorable sometimes. Only sometimes. He pushed towards you and nuzzled against you. Okay, you're pretty adorable all the time. Nuzzled back against him affectionately with a laugh. He left his hand resting against your shoulder and you continued walking. You know, I don't think we really have to do anything else today. As long as I'm with you, that's all I need. I don't care if we're in the park, sleeping, watching TV, playing tennis, whatever. Whenever I'm with you, I couldn't be happier. Aw, Spence. Suppose that means we'll just be chilling until we have to leave. Let's go sit under our tree. We can talk and relax. Yeah. This is the most perfect spot in the park, isn't it? Yeah, sure is. There's something about it that makes it even more perfect. And what would that be? This is where we had our first kiss. Oh, yeah, it is. Make it sound like it was so long ago, but it's only been a few weeks. Still, I've known you for so much longer than that. How long now? 12 years? 13 years? Something like that. I was in... Oh, shit! I fucking skipped! I was in 2nd grade, I think, so 13 years is about right. Well over half our lives. Yeah. I can't even begin to imagine what my life would be like without you in it. Same here. I really hope that you'll always want to be by my side. Spencer, I don't think I could ever want anything other than to be by your side. I'm so happy to hear you say that. You dropped to the ground under the tree and reached out to him, motioning for him to join you. He lowered himself to the ground and sat with his back to your chest, and you wrapped your arms around him to hug him tight. Your chin rested between his ears, and his hands rubbed over yours. Tell me something, Spence. When did you first realize that you loved me? You know, that moment will always stick out to me. Do you remember that time in high school when we had an argument with each other and didn't talk for a week? Yeah, I'll never forget that. It was over something stupid, wasn't it? A project we were doing? Really stupid. We were working on an assignment together and couldn't agree on a topic. We were pushing it on the deadline, and neither of us would talk to each other to work together. Showed up at my house a few days before the project was due. The doorbell rang, and Mom called me to saying you were here. My heart jumped. I don't think I could have been happier at the time. But I was afraid and didn't want you to be mad with me anymore. I even thought you were going to tell me you didn't want to be my partner and we're working solo. You have no idea how many different emotions I went through in that moment. When I put on my usual face and went to talk to you. Lo and behold, you'd been working on my project idea all week. And you'd been working on mine. We wasted so much time in all that work, and we just ended up scrapping both ideas to work on something completely different. We got a perfect score, plus bonus points in the end. That's right. But it was that night. I ended up climbing out my window to sit on the roof and talk. You apologized to me for being stubborn about it and told me that I had the better idea. Didn't I really say that? You did. I apologized too, though, and we ended up just sitting there to talk for a couple hours. The night was a bit cloudy, but it was warm, and you could see the moon through the clouds. It was so bright. And the clouds rolled away, and everything was covered in moonlight. In that moment, I looked over at you. You're on your back, looking up, and you turned to look at me. Your eyes shined in the moonlight, and you were so illuminated by the light. When our eyes met, something clicked in my heart, and I was just like, holy shit, I love him. Cue me having this giant eternal crisis while trying to stay calm. I didn't know what to do. I never felt that way before about anyone. Like, I had my moments with you where I felt something more, but I never realized what it was until that moment. Part of me wanted to roll off the roof. Another part of me wanted to pounce you. I'm glad you decided not to roll off the roof. Me too. But it was then that I realized just how much I cared about you and how much you meant to me. That was when I realized I loved you. You went through so many emotions that day, huh? You really have no idea. I was a mess. I never would have guessed either. You do such a good job of keeping your emotions bottled up. I'm glad you're finally learning that you can let them out a bit more with me. I'm working on it. You squeezed your hands tightly. The story makes me feel all fuzzy. You loved me for so long and I was oblivious to it. And you know what? It's okay. Finally got to tell you, and here we are now. I have you. You're really mine. We have each other. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You kissed him between his ears and rubbed your face into his fur. I love you, Spencer. I love you too. You leaned back against the tree and pulled him back to rest against you. His hands were stacked and lying just below his chest, and you ran your fingers through the fur on his arms. Neither of you said anything as you enjoyed the moment together, and after 10 minutes, you couldn't tell if Spencer was still awake. His head tilted off to the side, and you watched the slow rise and fall of his abdomen. Oh, Spence. I don't think I don't think could really get any better than this. Gently rubbed your fingers against his chin, and he shifted against you with a content sigh. Another hour passed by before Spencer moved around against you and yawned. Hey, you're back. I don't think I was ever fully gone. I was in that state of limbo between being awake and asleep. Well, it's been about an hour since you first seemed to have dozed off. Really? He stretched his limbs, and when he pulled his arms back in, for some reason, when I read the sentence, he pulled his arms back in, I imagined that he stretched them out of their socket, and then he just sucked them back in. It's horrifying. His hands landed on the back of your head. He tipped his muzzle up as he scratched his fingers through your hair. I wonder if this feels anywhere near as good for you as it tends to for me. It feels nice, but I'm pretty sure it's on a completely different level for you. It's because I haven't hit the spot. The spot, huh? Yep. There's a perfect spot on your head that when scratched just right. His fingers moved around through your hair like they were searching for it. It's never the same for people either. The triplets all have different spots, and mine isn't like any of theirs. I think your spot's your entire head. Moved your hands to his head and began scratching through his fur. But there's one particular place that feels better than anywhere else. But you have no idea where it is. I sure don't. God damn it! I haven't noticed you react differently to wherever I scratch. Try and find it then. You do hit it from time to time. Well, that just sounds like a ploy to get me to scratch your head all over. I won't lie and say that that's not part of the reason. He continued his search across your head to garner some kind of response from you, and you decided to play along and look for his spot too. The two of you were at an odd tangle of limbs as you scratched each other's head. Moved your fingers around slowly, and then you felt Spencer stutter when they got closer to his ears. You alternated between your left hand and your right hand, and you noticed that whenever you scratched closer to his left ear, his fingers faltered. After a couple more experiments, you focused on one spot at the base of his left ear. Spencer couldn't keep up with your scratching your head anymore, and when you did that... Pretty sure I found your spot. Yeah, you did. You saw his foot bouncing while you scratched him, and the speed of its bounce changed based on how fast you scratched. You got several minutes of entertainment out of teasing at the dog and watching those foot spasm. So that spot really is more sensitive than the rest of your head? It sure is. And it's different between you and your brothers? Yeah. Willie's is right on the center of his head, Kip's is just a bit behind his right ear, and Sammy's is between his left eye and ear on the top of his head. Dad's is like the back right of his head, and DJ... I couldn't tell you. I see. It was always good to know for the boys, because it helped get them to sleep when they were little. And for Dad, no real reason other than the goofy face he makes when you hit it. It always makes everyone laugh, and he owns that. He'll have you scratch it just so he'll make that face, because he can't make it otherwise. I'll show you the next time we see him. I'll sneak up on him and just hit him and with it. Really catch him by surprise. I can't wait to see it then. It'll be great. Do you make a stupid face too? Why don't you try to find out? His hands were still against the back of your neck, and you scratched all around his ear to see if his face did anything abnormal. It didn't, but he had a hard time keeping his legs still. Didn't look like you make any kind of face I haven't already seen. But you have no control over your foot or leg when I do that. Yeah, it seems to be the case. I can't hold it still when you really get in there. For a change, it doesn't look like my scratching gave you a boner. For fuck's sake with the boners. It doesn't always give me a boner. From my experience, it always seems to. Well, not this time. He ruffled his head fur around and turned to hugging him tightly while scratching his neck and the underside of his muzzle. Growled happily until you stopped, and he sat up and spun to face you. Let's walk a little bit more and head back home. By the time we get back, it'll be about time for me to start getting ready for work. You have to be there at 5, right? Yeah, that's when my shift starts. Sure. Ran your hand over his head a few times and chuckled. I'll brush you really good too, because your fur's a little bit of a mess right now. That would be appreciated. I'll get more tips if my fur looks good. I'm feeling pretty great after that rest. Were you not beforehand? Oh, I was feeling just fine, but I feel even better that I did. I think I was just a little drowsy after such a good lunch. I can see that. Even I need a little rest. Needed a little rest, sorry. I'm feeling way more energized and ready for the rest of the day now. I don't feel that way after a rest. I just feel tired. So let's get this walk going and head home. Spencer grabbed your hand and dragged you back to the sidewalk, keeping your fingers tightly wrapped with his while you resumed your walk through the park. Man, I can tell I've been out of practice of this for a while. I've only been going for a little over an hour and 15 minutes just on this update alone. And I've been feeling wiped for a while. Like, holy hell. That took a little bit longer than I meant for it to. Kinda dragged her feet. It's too nice of a day to pass up. It was, but now I need to change so we can go. You're gonna have almost no time left to brush my fur. Change quickly then. Oh god. I'm wearing the suit tonight, so it's not a quick process. Oh god. You'd better make it one. You're gonna wear the matching jock again, right? You're talking about the blue one? Fruit bat deployment! Oh yeah! Yeah. I like how it looks with the suit. Same here. He fished through the clothes basket and you watched his tail sway slowly while he hunted. I really need to fold these clothes. I'll handle it tomorrow. I wear these clothes too, so I can help at least. Ah, here it is. Man, that color looks so good on you. I agree. When was the last time you went in without the lumberjack look with the green jock? It's been a while. This is going to be a big surprise to people. The tips are going to pour in tonight. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, it's actually better if you brush me before I put the suit on. We don't want a loose fur all over the suit. Good idea. You got 10 minutes, so do what you can with me. Oh, I'll do what I can, all right. With the brush in hand, you got started with the fur around his neck right away. You brushed with one hand and teased him with the other, playing with the strap of his jock, scratching his butt. What's your plan for the night? I'll start with serving, and then around 7 I'll put on a show. I'll serve a little while longer after that, then spend the rest of the evening in the office to give myself a rest. Sounds easy enough. It should be a smooth night. Just make sure you stop to rest if you feel any kind of pain, okay? I really don't want you to overdo it if you plan on getting back on the stage tonight. I'll be careful. I have a routine in mind that'll take a lot of the strain off my ankle. Gotta work that pole? Absolutely. I'm gonna put this upper body strength to good use tonight. I can only imagine how the grip strength works if you're covered in fur. I have no idea. Oh, yes, I like how that sounds. I can't wait to see it. I think you'll have a good time with what I have in mind. Then I better make sure your fur's looking as perfect as I can get it. Focused brushing time, then we can go. Snapped his waistband and put your full attention on brushing him. You were stopped as soon as 10 minutes passed and Spencer retrieved his suit from the closet to get himself dressed. As soon as he was dressed, it was time to leave for Dynamite Springs. Oh, holy hell.